Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.
Welcome to another episode of Action Video Game Talk. I'm your host, Scott Action Jackson. Thanks for joining me today, or tonight, or whenever you're watching or listening to this episode. I do have another list of news articles to go through, so let's hop right into it. The BBC has announced plans for a new dramatic project based on the creation of Grand Theft Auto. Rockstar's biggest franchise is developed at Rockstar North in Edinburgh, Scotland. According to the information received by Engadget from the BBC, the program will be a single 90-minute affair. Involved is Guy Cocker, a journalist who has worked with Wired UK, Sky News, and a number of others. The Grand Theft Auto project is part of BBC's Make It Digital campaign, which is designed to promote coding legitimacy in the UK. Every child in Year 7 of the country's schooling, ages 11 to 12, will be given a device appropriate for coding. The UK is facing a significant skills shortage with a 1.4 million digital professionals needed over the next 5 years, the BBC says. BBC Make It Digital will capture the spirit of the BBC Micro, which helped Britain get to grips with the first wave of personal computers in the 1980s for the digital age. It will put digital creativity in the spotlight like never before and help build the nation's digital skills through an ambitious range of new programs, partnerships, and projects. No release timing has been announced yet for the Grand Theft Auto drama. So BBC wants to make a drama, series? Movie? Based on Grand Theft Auto? Wow, I don't quite know what to expect from that. I mean, I know in the article it was talking about this, promotion called BBC Make It Digital, which, if they're worried about being short on professionals needed for making digital projects, I mean, that should be the least of their worries. There's other stuff that children probably have not been learning in schools that they should be learning. I mean, I know over here, apparently cursive writing is no longer in schools. No, it's not. I know some places are trying to teach cursive writing because apparently the schools want to, leave it out of their stuff to learn, to teach students. Why? I don't know. I mean, I remember learning to do cursive writing when I was in grade school. But nowadays, it's completely gone. See, there's a lot of stuff that the kids nowadays aren't learning that some of us did when we were their age. But back to this Grand Theft Auto. I don't know. I think the question is, which Grand Theft Auto would this be covering? Of course, there's probably about if you want to count the, DLC Grand Theft Auto stuff, there could be about maybe 10 different Grand Theft Auto stores that they could use. I could see how they could try and tone it down for TV, but some of the stuff that is in Grand Theft Auto, there's no way they would give the go-ahead to put on TV. I mean, especially considering what happened, especially considering how bad the last Grand Theft Auto 5 is. And there's probably still people trying to ban it from being sold. How fortunate for Warner Bros. That March 13th falls on a Friday. The publisher has announced one of the guest characters for Mortal Kombat X, along with additional details about the title's season pass. Another horror icon is joining the Mortal Kombat franchise. The last title included Nightmare on Elm Street's villain Freddy Krueger. Mortal Kombat X will welcome the terror of Crystal Lake, Jason Voorhees. Jason is part of the $29.99 Combat Pack, along with 2 classic combatants and another guest character. Each character will include a skin pack also. At launch, Combat Pack purchasers will get the Ronin Kenshi, confirming him as a playable character, Samurai Shinnok, again this is the first confirmation we're receiving of him being playable, and Gengu Katana skins. Combat Pack owners will get early access to the downloadable content before it's made available a la carte. The Combat Pack is also available as part of the Limited Edition, Premium Edition, and Collector's Edition. How convenient! Friday the 13th in March, and they announce Jason Voorhees for Mortal Kombat X. I know I kind of covered where I think it was Ed Boon was talking about Jason Voorhees possibly being in Mortal Kombat X. And he was also talking about the possibility of Predator being in Mortal Kombat X. So this season pass, this combat pass whatever, is supposed to have one other guest character. But with them releasing Jason Voorhees, I would want to see them release Freddy Krueger for Mortal Kombat X. Because then we could actually have that face-off in the game. You know, Jason versus Freddy. I mean, we know the movie that was released had a bit of a weird ending to it. And we didn't really get a true victor over the battle. So, I mean, it would be nice to actually have, you know, Freddy versus Jason in Mortal Kombat X. I think a lot of people would probably want to see that as well. The question is if they would actually do it or not. I know I'd like to see it. Mortal Kombat X has been delayed on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and will now be available sometime this summer. A listing change on Amazon first raised eyebrows, and IGN has confirmed with Warner Bros. That the title will indeed be delayed on old-gen consoles. The release on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC will continue as planned. Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment confirmed that the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 versions of Mortal Kombat X being developed by High Voltage Software will release this summer, the publisher said in a statement. The Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Windows PC versions will be available April 14th. The news comes hot on the heels of a busy day for Mortal Kombat X news, with the first guest character revealed as Friday the 13th's Jason Voorhees, while old favorites Sonic and Kenshi are also back for the title. This is bad news for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 owners. I hope Warner Brothers kind of does something to make up for it. And all this news comes out, as the article says, on the heels of other news, with the addition of the first guest character being Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, and a few other characters coming back from the Mortal Kombat franchise. I'm not surprised by this news, but I could feel the pain from the gamers who still have the PlayStation 3 and 360 only. You know that it's still coming out, so it's not like it's a total downer. They're coming out for 360 and PS3, it's just delayed, that's all. There have been some strong hints that Warner Bros. And Traveler's Tales games would be completing LEGO The Hobbit story with DLC. The title was released in advance of the concluding cinematic chapter, meaning the game covers only the first two films. Unfortunately, that cliffhanger is likely to remain unsolved, at least where DLC is concerned. Warner Bros. Has been reached out a number of times on this matter, and was previously told there was no news. There's closure. GameSpot reports and can confirm that Warner Bros. Has no intention of releasing DLC representing the Battle of the Five Armies. The LEGO The Hobbit video game gives LEGO and Middle-earth fans a fun new way to experience the legendary adventures of Bilbo and company as told in the first two films of Peter Jackson's The Hobbit trilogy, a Warner Bros. Representative told via email. The game provides an excellent setup for the concluding chapter of Peter Jackson's film, The Hobbit and the Battle of the Five Armies. There are no plans to develop DLC based on the final film of the trilogy. This statement doesn't rule out a follow-up title that covers the final movie or a complete edition of the game that incorporates all of the LEGO Lord of the Rings experiences. All we do know is that earlier reports of the DLC won't be coming to fruition. Backtracking through press release archive and found evidence that Warner Bros. Planned DLC for the third movie. At the time, the third Hobbit movie was still called There and Back Again. Additional content based on the film, The Hobbit There and Back Again, is planned to be available at a future release date, says a press release from Warner Bros. Dated April 8, 2014. When asked about this, the Warner Bros. Representative declined to provide more detail. For the life of me, I do not know why Warner Bros. And Traveler's Tales did not release downloadable content covering the Battle of the Five Armies for Lego The Hobbit video game. I mean, just because the name of the movie was changed doesn't mean that the companies had to cancel the DLC that was coming out. I mean, this pisses off a lot of people who went out and bought the Lego Hobbit game expecting it to cover all three movies at some point. But now, apparently Warner Bros. And Traveler's Tales games is being complete assholes and not going to release it. Unless, like it stated here in the news article, if they tried to do a complete edition that would include possibly the Lego Lord of the Rings and the Lego Hobbit. But considering that they won't provide any details at all, it's like they must be completely abandoning this. For roughly the next 2 weeks, people who purchased WWE 2K15 will receive the Showcase Season Pass free of charge. The WWE 2K staff announced that Amazon, GameStop, Best Buy, Amazon Canada, and EB Games will offer the special deal, with the promotion happening this week in the United States and next week in Canada. It's also important to point out that the deal is only available for current-gen versions, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, of WWE 2K15. The Showcase Season Pass, which regularly retails for $25, includes WWE Diva Paige, as well as story-focused content based on Christian and Randy Orton, Mark Henry, and Ultimate Warrior. However, not part of the package is additional DLC like the NXT Arrival Pack. Alright, I'm hoping to get at least this part of the news article out in time, because the news article says the next 2 weeks, but from what I heard, it might be only about a week. Now, there's supposed to be, I guess, different dates for different places where they're having this free season pass with WWE 2K15. I know at one point I found the image online, and if I'm able to find it, I will post it on with this video. Otherwise, if anybody who's listening to this finds the actual dates for it, go and post it down in the comments below. Now, the news first broke on March 16th. They released a video saying that the season pass will be free. And on that same day, I went out to GameStop and tried to buy a PS4 copy, brand new, to see if it would actually print out on the receipt, because some other games have done that, where the season pass just print out on the receipt when you buy the game. But apparently it didn't happen. And I actually tried looking up more info, which actually took quite a few hours for somebody to actually post something about it. But it said, I think, the 18th to the 22nd for GameStop with this little deal. And I know that sometimes on Wednesdays they usually change prices on games. Because I know, as I'm recording this on March 17th, WWE 2K15 was actually only about $40. So tomorrow, considering that's possibly when they'll start giving the season pass for free, they might boost the price back up on it. Like I said, I don't know, I'm recording this on the 17th, so I probably won't know until tomorrow, and by the time then it'll probably be too late to re-record this stuff. Now, a lot of people are complaining because they already spent so much money on the game, the season pass, and all the DLC. You have every right to be. I mean, one of the main reasons that they're doing this, giving the season pass out for free right now, is to probably, I guess, help plug the WrestleMania that's coming up. But other than that, I don't know what other reason they would have to offer it for free. I mean, a lot of people didn't like the way WWE 2K15 was, so I don't know if they're just trying to give it out for free for a limited time as like a fan service for some people, especially those who haven't bought the game. Though we still don't have an official announcement, legendary NFL quarterback Joe Montana has continued to tease an upcoming game on Twitter alongside the hashtag JoeMontanaFootball16. Montana's latest tweet, which simply says, "It just got unreal," and shows off a screenshot with the Unreal 4 logo, indicates that the still unannounced game will run on the Unreal Engine 4. Montana began tweeting hints with the same hashtag in July 2014. The first tweet says, "You've waited long enough," and includes a stylized render of Montana in a generic jersey. The screenshot tweeted also appears to feature generic jerseys with logos of non-NFL teams out of focus in the background. During his career, Joe Montana was the figurehead of multiple games, including EA Sports' Joe Montana Football on Genesis in 1991, which did not feature any real teams or players outside of Joe Montana due to a lack of NFL license. Following the release of Joe Montana Football, EA Sports abandoned the Montana name to focus on its NFL licensed football franchise, John Madden Football. Developer Blue Sky Software continued developing games for Joe Montana through late 1994, but after Montana's contract ended with Sega, the franchise was moved to a new developer and rebranded for Deion Sanders. Ever since EA Sports struck an exclusivity deal following the battle between Madden NFL 2005 and NFL 2K5, no other publisher has released an NFL licensed game. Midway Games released 2 Blitz games using fictional and retired players prior to EA Sports' acquisition of the Blitz brand, and 2K Sports put out All Pro Football 2K8 featuring fantasy rosters of retired players, but neither franchise stuck without the NFLPA license. So, if what I'm guessing what this news article is supposed to say is there could be a Joe Montana Football 16 game on the way, but nothing has officially been announced. Now, I think the last time we saw a John Madden football game was, like I said in the news article, on the Sega Genesis, and I don't think it lasted that long, maybe 1 or 2 times, or 1 or 2 games. And then it more or less became, John Madden football, which, later became Madden. Now, between now and then, there has been that whole issue, like I said in the article, between the NFL 2K and the Madden NFL 2005. And since then, there hasn't really been any actual official football games. I mean, there was the All-Pro Football 2K8, which was crap. There was the Blitz-style football games, which were kind of fun. It would be nice to see another alternative to the Madden football, but that would be assuming that this would even be anywhere near as good as that. I'm guessing something like this, if there is an announcement soon, I'm guessing that might wait until E3 to get announced. To celebrate the launch of Tamriel Unlimited, the newest version of the Elder Scrolls Online, ZeniMax Online Studios has released a trailer highlighting what the new update brings to the experience. Tamriel Unlimited includes the full game plus all 6 major content updates, as well as the Champion and Justice systems. The update also introduces ESO Plus, the premium account system for the Elder Scrolls Online, as well as the in-game Crown Store. All existing Elder Scrolls Online accounts have been automatically updated to Tamriel Unlimited, meaning that even those who have closed their accounts can now return to the game without a subscription fee. The Elder Scrolls Online launched on PC and Mac last April, while Tamriel Unlimited will launch alongside the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions on June 9th. As far as I could tell with the news article and the actual trailer that came out, for those who are playing Elder Scrolls Online, have been and currently playing, it has already changed over to the Tamriel Unlimited. So they're going to be re-releasing this Tamriel Unlimited edition onto PC and the two consoles, the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, on June 9th. Even though I know there's probably a few versions of the trailer out there where the dates are kind of weird because, they're showing the dates in other countries, so they kind of rearrange the numbers around differently. It is nice that they're revealing all this info that is included with the updated, newer version. For me, ever since they changed their mind and announced that this was going to be a free-to-play, no subscription fee game, I hopped back onto it because I knew this was the closest thing we were going to get to a Skyrim on PS4 and Xbox One. Unless, of course, Bethesda announces that they're going to be releasing a Skyrim on PS4 and Xbox One, which would be nice, but probably won't happen because at E3 they got their own little press conference that they're going to do, and they'll probably mostly be focused on the Elder Scrolls Online and, if we're lucky, a Fallout game. I am looking forward to this game coming out. I just hope it's not a total, complete piece of garbage. That's all I'm saying. Well, that does it for this episode of Action Video Game Talk. Once again, thanks for joining me today, or tonight, or whenever you're watching or listening to this episode. Later on, I will have the separate clips up if you want to check those out. Down below, I will have the Facebook link, and also the email that you can get a hold of me at for Action Video Game Talk as far as questions and comments that you might not want to post on Facebook or YouTube. But then again, anybody is open to ask any questions that they want to, or leave any comments that they want. The email is actionvideogametalk@yahoo.com. So, until next time, bye.